Hey, yo, so this video, I'm gonna just kick it with you real quick, real fast on how and why kicking weed is very, very important to your life. All right, I know that popular culture or American culture, whatever, wherever you're from, I'm sure that it's weed is being celebrated for some strange reason. And I'm not here to say whether it's good or bad. I'm only here to give you information on how to quit and why I believe it is very important to quit. So weed does have some very awesome advantages, I will admit. I had a great time the 3 or 4 or 5 years I did use it. Just kind of just letting life pass by with no worries. And though that is one of the pros, that's also one of the cons. I mean, I think I started smoking weed in high school, like 11th, 12th grade year, and I tell you, I had some fun. But at the same time, I ended up getting kicked out of college. I went back after quitting marijuana, but I did get kicked out of college because of weed and because of having a girl in my room at the wrong times of the hour and stuff like that. Sold weed before, all those crazy things. Not really that crazy, but all those things. So I can give you a little bit of advice based on marijuana and my experience with it. So I already told you the good things, and it's probably more. But here are some of the bad things. You miss parts of your life. And that's the same thing with alcohol. Like you miss very important parts of your life. And if you do remember them, that's fine. But you probably didn't maximize your opportunity at that time. Like I said, college. I went to a school called Baker College, and I think back now that I've been sober for years. I always think back like, man, what I could have done had I not been a weed head. I could have really just been a lot further than I am right now. Because marijuana effectively slows you down. Another thing, it makes you very sleepy. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to sleep my whole life and then die and sleep again. All right, so you're sleeping your whole life away. You see those commercials. Just quit. It's gonna ruin your life. It's not that dramatic, but at the same time, it is true though because, like I said, I almost ruined my life with marijuana more than a couple times. And when I sold it, if it wasn't for the grace of God, I would have been in jail because I did get frisked one day and I had the weed in my back pocket. The police just didn't look there. They checked all my other pockets. They just didn't check the back left one. So that's where the weed was at. So like I said, I attribute that to just the Lord saving me because maybe well not maybe he knew. I knew he knew I would be here and he knew I would quit. So obviously he didn't put me through that hassle. But what else? By the way, it messes up your sperm count, man. I don't care what you do. You can't mess with the penis. You can't mess with your stuff, man, because technically it's not even yours. All right, you're gonna want some woman is gonna want that body part. You know what I mean? And you don't want that tampered with. It's the same for women. Like they get tattoos all over the place. I mean, like just take it easy because at some point some guys gonna wanna but it messes with your penis, man, because first off, you ejaculate a little bit sooner. A lot of people are going to argue up and down with me about that, but I would know because I've been in that situation. I've seen both sides of the spectrum. So if you are this great mastermind at sex right now, you would be better if you did not smoke because you'll have more sperm cells, a higher sperm count, a firmer penis, those kind of things. And we talking man to man right here. I'm a man. I don't got time for the other stuff, the funny business. So I'm gonna just give it to you straight. All right. Why would you want it any other way? So on that aspect, definitely not a cool thing. Makes you a little bit more slower, if you will. Brain count, those kind of things. Brain cells, and you don't want those being depleted. You definitely want to keep those. So that's another thing that's really not cool about marijuana. And it makes you hungry. It makes you skinny. When I stopped smoking, I kind of like puffed up like a balloon. Like I just got a lot more, pretty hefty, if you will. So you definitely got to be careful with that. You're gonna balloon up. You're gonna have a really bad attitude for about at least a week or so, or more, a month, or 2 or 3 months. You're gonna be just, similar to a woman on earth. At the bad time of the month, you're gonna be just angry. I remember arguing with my dad at least 2 to 3 or 400 times when I was getting off of it. So you will go through some withdrawal. So the question remains, how do you quit? How? It's impossible, right? Of course not. And I know a lot of people who smoke weed, in the back of their mind they wish they didn't, and that's why I'm making this video. I'm not just making it for my health. I know what y'all think about, because I was thinking the same thing. Like, man, I like this feeling, but I really wish I had enough strength to quit. And I think there's at least three things that you have to do if you do want to quit. The first is you need to change your surroundings, change your friends. We love our friends, we think highly of them, but those people are adding to the weight that it takes to remove marijuana. You got to change your company, because even if you do successfully quit, I mean, you don't want to be around that every day. Okay, that's not really good for you. You're gonna have to like boss up and say, you know what, I need to find some better friends or find some better things to do. You can keep those guys, but just don't hang around them so much. When I smoked, that was one of the things that happened. I was with these guys every day, every single day, right? So you definitely want to pick different friends. The next thing, you want to pray, all right? If you're not into God, you don't know who God is, introduce yourself. Today is a great day to do that. Because if it wasn't for the Lord, I would still be smoking weed to this day. I had to pray. And I prayed with some friends, the same guys that I had to get rid of. And they thought I was crazy, but it's funny how many people believe and respect God. They just don't say nothing. So that's why I don't hide it, because I know that a lot of people do love God and think of Him. They just don't have a relationship with Him. So that's not my fault. I'm a announce my relationship with Him. I know Him. I feel like I know Him very well at this point. All right, His angels, Him. I don't know which one it is, but I've definitely heard voices from one or the other. Probably both. But either way, without God, I probably would still be smoking marijuana to this day. So that's the second thing. The third thing is you want to find a way to clean out your system. Here's the way to do it. Go and get some niacin pills. You can get those from GNC or go online. And what these do, they clean your blood out. They flush you. So when you take at least 500 milligrams, so if you get 100 milligram tablets, you maybe take 3 to 4 to 5. Depends on you as a person. Or you can get the big 500 milligram pills, where you'll just take one. But honestly, I took 100 milligram pills. And if you're one of those people who don't want to get into all the pills, uh, I don't know how. Find another way to get clean. Maybe some water or things like that. But I definitely took niacin pills. Like I said, I took like 2 or 3, and it cleaned my system out. Once that marijuana is out your system, that addiction has nothing to really grab onto. So that was very, very important to me stopping smoking weed. And I did relapse a few times. Or if maybe I think it was like 2 weeks later, I smoked, and then right after I smoked, I took the pills again, and then gradually, I just didn't need to smoke no more. And I think like a year later, I smoked. I took some pills that day. I just kept them very handy. And these pills are actually good for you. They're not like anything scary. Just don't overdo it, obviously. They make you itch real bad, but it's cleaning you out. You're going to have to go to the bathroom. Your stomach's going to hurt like crazy for maybe 10 to 20 minutes. But that pain is worth it, because you know that you're clean. And then from there, the only thing you really need to do is mentally get over marijuana, which is a little bit easier than trying to physically get over it. That's it.